All right, we need to talk about a code red situation that's unfolding in the tech world. And this isn't some far-off industry problem, it has a direct line right into your wallet. We're talking about a massive memory chip shortage, and it's about to change how much we pay for all of our favorite gadgets. Okay, so let's just get right into it because this is the question we're all going to be asking pretty soon. Why is that new phone I want suddenly way more expensive? Or why is the next-gen gaming console getting delayed? Well, the answer is a huge tug-of-war for a tiny, absolutely essential component, and right now, we, the consumers, are losing. And this is what losing looks like. 75%. That's how much the price for a key type of computer memory, DRAM, jumped in a single month between December 2025 and January 2026. Seriously, prices didn't just go up. One analyst said they went parabolic, just straight up. So what on earth could cause a foundational piece of technology to skyrocket in price that fast? The answer is just two letters: AI. The completely explosive and honestly unprecedented growth of artificial intelligence is what's behind this whole thing. See, building out the infrastructure for AI, it's an incredibly memory-hungry business. Just think about those gigantic data centers that power all the chatbots and amazing AI tools we're seeing. They run on very specialized high-performance memory, specifically a type called high bandwidth memory, or HBM. And the big tech giants are buying these chips up by the absolute truckload. And if you want to understand the scale of this, just look at the money being thrown around. We are talking about nearly $400 billion in planned spending from just two companies in a single year. To put that into perspective, this is some of the largest capital spending ever by any company. And a massive chunk of that is going straight to memory chips. And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. The industry leaders themselves are basically screaming from the rooftops about this. Tim Archer, the CEO of Lam Research, a company that makes the equipment to build chips, is saying that AI demand is going to overwhelm everything else. This isn't just a trend, it's a fundamental shift in the entire market. So, okay, we've got this historic demand, but how does that create a huge bottleneck for everybody else? Well, it's not just about more people wanting chips. It's about who makes them and who they're deciding to sell to. So here's the kicker. This whole global market for this vital component, it's not some wide open field. Over 90% of the world's DRAM is made by just three companies: Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron. And they've pretty much declared their own code red. They simply can't build new factories fast enough to keep up with all this demand. And this really lays out the business decision they're making. It's pretty simple, right? On one side, you've got these AI giants with super deep pockets, placing massive, high-profit orders for that special HBM memory. And on the other side, you've got the rest of us, the consumer electronics world, with smaller orders and way thinner profit margins. So what are they going to do? They're pivoting their entire supply chain towards AI, creating what some are calling a Ramageddon for consumer tech. And the fallout from this big pivot is being felt everywhere, with the pool of available memory for our phones, laptops, and consoles shrinking fast. What does that actually mean for you when you go to buy something? Well, you guessed it, you're gonna feel the pinch. I mean, listen to who's getting worried. You've got Apple's Tim Cook warning about the hit to iPhone profits. You've got Elon Musk so concerned he's talking about Tesla having to build its own giant chip factory. And Lenovo's CEO is calling it a structural imbalance, which is corporate speak for, this is a huge problem and it's not going away. And here is exactly where it hits home for all of us. Laptop makers, they're already reportedly planning price hikes of 10 to 30%. If you're a gamer, you might be waiting a lot longer for that next-gen console, maybe until 2028, even 2029. And for every single one of us with a smartphone, well, expect tighter supply and higher costs across the board. So the big questions left are, how long is this crunch gonna last? And are there even bigger kind of hidden costs to this whole AI boom that we aren't really talking about yet? Well, this timeline tells you everything you need to know. This problem isn't going away tomorrow. Even with new factories in the works, the absolute earliest that analysts expect any real relief from this supply crunch is 2028. We are in this for the long haul. To really understand the next challenge, we kind of have to change the way we think about these things. A data center isn't just a building full of computers. One writer put it perfectly. They said, these places are built not of steel and concrete, but of pure hunger and thirst, a bottomless appetite for money, for power, for water, and for these very computer chips. And that brings us to the final, and maybe the most crucial question of all. This AI revolution is clearly straining the chip supply and hitting us in the wallet. But with their absolutely insane demand for energy, you have to wonder if the even bigger price is the one that's going to be paid by our power grids and by our environment. It really forces you to ask, what is the true total cost of all this progress?